If you're boring, you will be broke. Period. No questions asked. Because on LinkedIn, that's different than any other platform is that it's specifically geared towards professionals. And you want to be able to attract a audience that is on LinkedIn that's particular set of professionals that's going to get them to engage with your content and your post, right? And if you don't have a campaign, an idea of how you're specifically going to do that, and you're just doing it randomly, you will not be able to generate any kind of money, any kind of profit. You will not be able to grow or get any kind of engagement on LinkedIn, because you want to be able to grow. You want to be able to have attract those companies or attract those brands or attract those professionals, and that's great. Like, go for it, right? You'll be able to go viral, and you'll be able to get people to share your content, like it, go to your post and comment and do all of that great stuff if you're able to figure out what that strategy is. If you are unable to figure out what that strategy is, the way that their algorithm work is nobody won't see it, and nobody will engage with it. All right, so we're going to talk about specifically what do you really need to do to literally explode that engagement, go viral, get people to really start seeing and engaging in content. All right, and there's a specific strategy behind it that you want to do that will make a big difference in you being able to increase your reach on LinkedIn. Okay, so hope you're excited about that. Now, one of the things that I've learned throughout my experience on being on LinkedIn and consulting a lot of clients with being on LinkedIn is that there's some similarities and that there's a few differences, okay, between LinkedIn and then other platforms. Starting off with some of the similarities. The similarities is going to be when you're looking at LinkedIn, you got to understand that it's a social media platform. You have people who are on LinkedIn that's on there for certain kinds of content, right? Typically, it's more skewed towards professional types of content, right? As opposed to entertainment. It's more learning-based kinds of content. So what's great about LinkedIn is that as a social media platform, people are still going to want to go on there and see your content. So you still have to be able to provide that kind of value to make people excited or make people interested about it, right? With some other similarities is that it's the same thing in terms of reach, in terms of the more people you get to engage with the post, the more people are going to be able to see it. You still go like, you can still comment, right? You can still you have that ability to be able to share and get people to get engaged with it, and that's going to increase the amount of reach that you have, so more people can see it. And the more people can see it, obviously, the more your engagement is going to go up. And then if you're talking about a product or a service or a business you have, obviously that's going to be more leads and more clients that you have. Now, when you're talking about some of the things that's skewed a little bit different that you got to pay attention to in terms of LinkedIn is, remember, because it's professional, people are generally looking at content, still some entertainment, but they're looking at content to where they want to be able to get some kind of professional connection from it. So they probably want to be able to grow their product, their service, their business, or their career in some form or fashion. So you have to be very intentional about putting more content that is more teaching based, that is more curriculum based, that is more learning based, because that is the type of content that people are looking for, as opposed to some of the other social media platforms. More people are generally on there for learning, yes, but also there's a lot of entertainment. You get what I'm saying? But for LinkedIn, you have a unique opportunity to where people are learning and they're hungry and they want to be able to get this content. Okay, but you have to be providing it. Okay, so what do you need to do to be able to grow and take that to the next level in terms of your business? Okay, so here's a few strategies. First thing you need to do is provide specific and valuable content to your target audience. So whatever kind of information or whatever kind of content, or where you have your expertise or you have your experience in, you want to be posting that on an ongoing basis. And that's super key, because as people are continually scrolling, you have to have an ability, they have to be seeing your content. But it's not just seeing your content. You have to have that ability to be able to what I call the 3 H's. Okay? All right, which is one, hook them, right? Hook. You have to have people who are, like, as they're scrolling, you got to remember, you got to catch people's attention. So with that, what are you going to hook them with? So typically how I like to say it is, maybe if you can start with something with maybe a quote, you can start with a statistic. You know, did you know that, 80% of all small businesses will fail within the first 5 years? Questions. Oh, okay. Wait, what are you talking about? I didn't know this, right? You want people to be saying that to themselves, right? Just typically asking some kind of question is going to be really key, because that's going to get them to want to engage. Okay, so that's super key that you're able to do that. Remember, they don't give you. It's not like Facebook, to where people, so when they're scrolling, they're automatically going to see the whole your entire description. They only give you a couple lines, so whatever you add, it has to be very valuable, and you got to make sure that you're able to grab the attention quickly. The second H is harsh. Harsh. What is harsh? Harsh is more of, I want you to be bold in terms of a bold statement, something that's very opinionated, right? And I know some people it makes them a little bit afraid to kind of do that, because what if somebody disagrees with me? What if somebody doesn't like it? What if somebody leaves a bad comment? And I get all that, but at the end of the day, you have a product or service, or you have some kind of value that you want to be able to give, and you want people to pay attention to it. You don't want to just waste your time and put it out. So make sure that you saying something, and it's not, and you don't have to go too far with it and say something that's in the tabloids, or something that just happened, but that's extreme. But what I'm saying is, just say something that's bold. Right? Don't be able to, don't be afraid to say the reason why you're not successful is because you're scared. You're scared of what people are going to say. You're scared of the judgment. You're scared that you're going to fail. And that is why you're not going to that next level in your life. Somebody watch that and go, wait, whoa, let me see what he's saying. Let me see what she's talking about right now. Wow, that's an interesting point. Okay. And then you give context to what you're talking about. So if it's a video, give context to it. Right? If it's if it's in the description, make that your first 1 or 2 lines. Right? Don't be afraid to do that, but then give context to it, obviously. And then the third H is honesty. Right? Don't be afraid to be honest and give your true thoughts, your true feelings. And I want you to touch more and be in touch more with the emotion of it, because it is that emotion that is transferable to other people, and it makes them want to connect with you, it makes them want to watch you, and it makes them want to come back. Okay, now that all of that is being able to, when somebody actually gets to your post, how do you get them to stay? How do you get them to read the description? How do you get them to like? How do you get them to actually watch the video? In terms of quote unquote more traffic being able to be seen through your LinkedIn post, what's going to be interesting about that is, one, the more interesting that video is through what we just talked about, and at least being able to get their attention within the first few seconds, so you can get the view to like and get people to be interested, right? You want the whole video to be interesting, by the way, right? So, but that's just how you get their attention initially. Right. So, all right, now we've already established that the video is phenomenal and is very interesting. So how do we increase our reach and have more people watch it and see it and grow it? From that perspective is, one, the more people who engage with your post quickly, meaning if you do a post and in the first 60 seconds you get people liking, watching it, or the first few minutes you get people liking, watching it, commenting, the more people you get to do that initially, the more that your reach is going to increase. Meaning more people are going to be able to see it, and then more people are going to be able to like it and engage it. Other ways that you can do that is they allow you to be able to share that post, so you can use that URL, and you can, one of the things I encourage you to do is you should have some kind of email list, or you have post it on other social media platforms that's going to allow more people to be able to see it, right? So if you have, let's say, if you have an email list of 1,000 people on there, or 500 people on there, then, and you do a LinkedIn post, well, feel free to take that URL and then share that post with other people via your email list, via you put it in your bio of your Instagram post. Maybe you create the same exact post or promoting it on your Instagram page. I don't care if it's your Twitter, I don't care if it's your YouTube, whatever the case is. The goal is to send out that link to as many people as possible. Send it out through text message, maybe to friends and family. Send it out to as many people as possible. If you have other people who can share it, who have a following as well, that'd be very beneficial as well. Maybe they have email lists. Maybe they have a large YouTube following or Facebook or Instagram following, and they're willing to post it for you or go through their stories, and people could swipe up and go directly to that LinkedIn post. So the more people who are able to see that link, the more people that's going to increase your engagement. And the way that the algorithms is going to work on LinkedIn is that it's going to start making that post viral. It's going to start showing more people to that post. And then you're going to explode in your engagement, your views, your watches, your likes, your comments, etc. All right. So if this is a new conversation to you, like, whoa, Terrell, I don't really, I don't really know how to kind of do this. I get what you're saying, but this is all kind of new to me. What I'm going to do in this next video is I'm going to break down specifically how I started. How did I start doing all of this? How did I start getting better at doing social media? How did I grow? What did my career kind of look like doing this and posting on social media and doing business and converting clients? And what does all of that look like? All right. So I'm going to show you that in the next video. So go there right now, like and subscribe if you haven't done yet. But watch this video because it's going to break everything down about this and what I'm doing from a 30,000 foot view on social media and how I started as an entrepreneur. It's important, me seeing evidence of progress that really made the difference of me saying, oh, okay, so when I do these certain things, I start to generate some income. When I do these certain things, I start to get clients. Okay, and started stepping my way forward. Oh, okay, I started to understand.